something that's been kind of like on my heart and rumbling in my brain, and I really need to say it out loud, and I need actually people to debate me in this way. I said, because I'm having a hard time with it. So if you have thoughts on it, please put it in the comments. Like, seriously, what I'm about to say, I would not mind being wrong. I would not mind having some clarity in what can happen. Um, but I am concerned that homesteading, the idea of homesteading, is dying. And why do I say that? Because the farmers that I bought from, the farmers that have scaled up and done this, and it was their lifestyle, no longer are doing it, or they're scaling down so far that it's only them and their families and that's it, which I get. But I'm like, if we're talking food system and sustainability and all of those ideals, uh if you just don't do it anymore, what happens? Like, what happens to that food movement? What happens to that homesteading that happens? So I have a delicate balance, because I watch y'all. I watch you. I'm watching, Roots and Refuge. I'm watching Whispering Willow Farms. I'm watching all of you guys that are out there. I'm I'm watching like a young lady that Roots, I think it's Roots, that goes all over and interviews farmers, and everything I'm hearing is the same: is burnout, 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 burnout. So if it's burning people out, they can't do the farming part of it. It's too much, or it's causing mental health issues. It's causing relationship issues. It's causing all these issues. Then what do we do with it? Like what is it? Is it a healthy lifestyle that you would only do for your family, and then that's it? That's good. Um, how do we help market farmers? How do we help market farmers that are producing food for everybody and creating an opportunity for everybody to eat a certain way? How do we help market farmers? Obviously, shopping is a big deal. Ordering directly from farmers is a big deal. But also, I think we're getting into not class saturation, but a little bit of class saturation. Everybody wants to be a teacher. No one wants to be a student. So then, if we have that, we have all these students out there or that have learned a skill, but then we need them to go use the skill and become a producer so that we can expand that into the food system to change the food system. If we're having too many health problems, mental health problems, family problems, other problems in the community that's supposed to be changing the food system, guess what? You're not going to get there. Like, that's not going to happen. And people are not going to want to go into that, because they're looking at that going, y'all have a lot of stress and it's a lot of craziness. And I'm like, do I want to do that? Like, is that something I want to put myself through, put my family through, and go into that? So I guess my biggest question, and the thing I'm only doing this is like 4 minutes total. It's not very long. But I want to open it up and say, what do we do? Like, what do we do? Because the way that we're going to feed people, we have millions of people that need to eat. And yes, I've heard cheap and easy is bad for you. Cheap and easy is bad for you. Cheap and easy is bad for you. Then how do we do a large scale version of regenerative farming? How do we do it to create enough food, even if it's a bunch of small farmers? I've heard that argument. Oh, well, then guess what? Then everybody needs to do small farming and just a little bit at a time. We'll eventually change it. No, we won't. Why? Because a lot of y'all quit. A lot of you quit. A lot of you decided you're not going to do that, or you went down to your family only. So we won't have enough food to feed everybody if you get too stressed out and can't do it. So I'm like, so the reality of all of this is very different than even the perception of it or the PR. And yes, I know there's Pinterest homesteaders, and I'm not, I get that. And I'm like, I'm not talking about Pinterest homesteaders. I'm talking about homesteaders that are doing the work, have put the work in, have built the infrastructure, have done that, and they just walk away from it or they're done. And I'm like, and a lot of the time, honestly, it's family. A lot of it's family. It's that families are suffering. So then what do you do? How do we fix it? And I want to know that question. I want to know, how do we fix it? What is the thing that we need to do to fix the situation? Because I would love to see the food system change. I would love to see that happen. But how? How do we do it? So if you have solutions, please put it in my comment. If you have comments, please put in my comments about what we can do to make the food system better.